and the fact that the Constitution ratified or endorsed slavery, which is something that I think is a claim that needs to be qualified a lot. I tend to agree with Frederick Douglass and Lysander Spooner. And by the way, Douglass was convinced of this position by Lysander Spooner.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he credited Spooner and William Goodell and one other figure who was actually kind of a guy behind the two of those guys. He attributed his conversion from the Garrisonian view that the Constitution was a covenant with death and an agreement with hell because it sanctioned slavery, to this view that the Constitution, if not anti-slavery, it was not pro-slavery either. And he said it was because of these three men that I changed my mind and went from Garrison to Spooner, essentially.
Yeah.
So I agree with them about the Constitution not being pro-slavery, although it allowed for slavery. Essentially, what ultimately happened is that folks like Salmon Chase, who took sort of an in-between position, said, and Douglass agreed with Chase too, said, look, the Constitution is not pro-slavery, but Congress does not have the power to abolish slavery in the states in which it currently exists. It has the power to abolish slavery in the District of Columbia, which they denied because of the Fifth Amendment. It has power to deny slavery in the territories, which the Supreme Court in Dred Scott said it didn't. They disagreed with Dred Scott about that. But it doesn't have power to end slavery in the states. That, they said, required a constitutional amendment because Congress does not have unlimited powers. And so the 13th Amendment gets passed after the Emancipation Proclamation because it's not clear what the constitutional authority for that is, and they wanted to make sure Congress had the authority. They gave them a new enumerated power. They passed that amendment. And then when that amendment got evaded by the South and by the racists in the South, they had to pass the 14th Amendment to try to amp up their powers to go after the people that were abusing the rights of the freedmen in the South. So the point I like to make is that when we defend the Constitution today as being legitimate, we are not defending the original Constitution. I don't have to defend the original Constitution, and I have mixed feelings about the original Constitution because of slavery, and also because of the secondary subordinate status of women. But we get to defend the Constitution as amended, and the Constitution as amended specifically did away with that defect in the original Constitution, thereby making it a defensible Constitution.
I think I keep latching on to that radical kernel that it's not even started with the Constitution, but it started with a lot of the philosophy that was embraced by the founders, that the individual comes first. And it strikes me that was a very radical and undeniable concept that forced us eventually to deal with slavery and all of the other defects in the original document.
And there's a lot of stuff coming out now